It's your typical January Tuesday night in the MAC. Pleasant Valley senior Will Carius prepares to do battle with conference rival Assumption. But tonight's game, and every game this season, now holds much more meaning to a Spartan family rallying around one of their own.
Go, William.
The battle for the Carius family began 5 years ago. In September of 2010, Will's mom, Elizabeth, was diagnosed with breast cancer. A trip to the Mayo Clinic provided the news that no family ever wants to hear.
And that's where they found it was not only in the breast, but there was a spot in her hip, and it was stage 4. So we knew it was serious at that time. So we had some decisions to make.
Elizabeth began an aggressive treatment plan. While she battled cancer, life for Will, his younger brother Caleb, and sister Anna remained normal, with mom continuing to homeschool all 3 kids.
My wife was the type of person, she didn't want that to define her. So she didn't want people feeling sorry for her. I knew, especially the last couple of years, she was in a lot of pain, but she hid it very well. She hid it very well from the kids.
Last October, Elizabeth fell at home and suffered a broken hip.
I knew it was bad when I talked to her oncologist here, and I said, well, what about getting her up, moving on that hip? And he said, we got bigger fish to fry.
I know it was getting worse, but I didn't know how severe it was and how long she had and stuff like that. And they just came to talk to us and just explain the situation.
He went and showed us her most recent scan that they took, and when she was up at Mayo, and it had spread several places, and he said, the best thing we can do now is make her comfortable.
That was when it really hit me that I wasn't sure how long I could have with my mom.
As cancer took its toll physically and mentally, Elizabeth continued to teach until the end. With her time running short, mom gave her family one last lesson.
It was like she knew what was happening, and she had called everybody in, and we sat and talked for 2 hours, and it was purely a God thing.
She just continued to say over and over again how proud she was of us, and she had her Northern Michigan shirt hanging in her hospital room she was in, and just said how proud she was of me for achieving that. It was her for like that hour or 45 minutes or however long we had it, and it was just great to have that time with her.
Just 3 days later, on November 8th, Elizabeth passed away. Just 1 week before the start of Will's senior basketball season.
A couple days after, we had an open gym and everything like that, and it was just something just to get in and play, and it was just great to get my mind off of it and having my teammates around too. And they weren't the type to pry or anything like that. They wouldn't talk to me about it. They just went on like it was normal open gym, and that's what I needed, really.
The support from Spartan Nation has continued through the season with pink outs and pink laces and Elizabeth's initials on their shoes.
You know, he's going through a tough, painful time, and so I think, you know, as far as our team goes and our program goes, we just want to make sure that Will knows that we're there for him, you know, and he's got to be going through ups and downs every day in practice and games, and just to know he's got his buddies on his, you know, shoulder helping him.
Help out! And I couldn't imagine being in a different situation, having to go through this, you know, without that support and that the families on the team and Coach Hillman. I don't know if we'd be here today.
Press charge, yes!
On this night at Assumption, like every night this season, Will has mom on his mind.
Definitely last night, there's a couple rough spots during the game where I'm sure I missed her yelling at the refs a couple times, and as annoying as that was in the past, like there's nothing I wouldn't do to get that back.
You guys got to protect the shooter on that.
We had a great team, her and I, you know, and you know that's the thing I miss the most is my partner when I'm sitting there at the game and I need somebody to rein me in when I'm yelling at the referees.
They're beating the crap out of him down there.
Pleasant Valley entered the season with a goal of winning a state championship. That goal now carries much more meaning.
I think Elizabeth is watching over our team, and, you know, not that means we're going to win big games or anything, but it feels like she's a part of what we're doing, and you know, it would be really a great experience for him.
It would be tremendous. There were certain things she wanted to instill in them: faith, love for the Lord, love for learning, and and giving 100% in everything you do. And you see it in all three of them. So to me, that's, no matter if they never win another game, they're champions because of that.